Saw this video on here earlier where this one white girl was saying, well, Juneteenth shouldn't be a federal holiday. Well, you shouldn't have been born, but we got to deal with it. So now we both got something we did not want.
Welcome on another episode, you guys. Thank you for your constant support. I see them and I do not take them for granted. Another Juneteenth around the clock, and the palm-colored people are doing that very thing that they know how to do best. They are groaning, crashing out over the fact that Juneteenth is a federal holiday. They are screaming that why do Black people have a whole month to celebrate them and still having a Juneteenth holiday or Juneteenth celebration? They are talking about how it is a made-up holiday. They just cannot wrap their head around why these people have to, celebrate the day that marked them being free from slavery. They do not understand the pain that these people have to go through to get a word that you're not finally free. One of the happiest days for them in history is what they cannot wrap their head around as to why Black people are celebrating it. We already know that Black people's freedom feels like oppression to them. So this reaction is not surprising, but it is still wild seeing that they keep repeating it every single year. Without wasting much time, let's check out some crash out from palm-colored people who are just pissed at the fact that Black people were able to get freedom and celebrate the day.
17th is, excuse me, what's happening to the white people? They have a Black Miss America. They have a Black college. They have a Black month. What do we have? And now they have Juneteenth. Yes, I understand there was slavery, don't get me wrong. But there was also a Holocaust, and that was more recent than slavery. But you don't hear the Jews saying, gimme, 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 gimme. What's the point of Juneteenth? What is it?
Okay, everybody, a lot of people are going to be saying Happy Juneteenth. It should not be a federal holiday, and I'm on my way to work.
Black Americans were enslaved for over 400 years, and when they were finally freed, they didn't get the message right away. It took 2 more years for the last group in Texas to find out, and in that moment, Juneteenth marked the final enforcement of freedom. And you're saying that doesn't deserve a federal holiday? I know you're racist, Charlie Kirk, but come on. You're on your way to work, and that's cool. Black people worked for free for generations. They built this country with their blood, sweat, and tears. Juneteenth isn't about a day off. It's about recognizing the struggle, the resilience, and the strength and the freedom that Black Americans had to fight for, and it was something they were never just given. If that makes you and your white conservative base uncomfortable, then the issue isn't the holiday. It's y'all. It's y'all's lack of empathy, your lack of understanding, and your racism and bigotry.
Okay, everybody, a lot of people are going to be saying Happy Juneteenth. It should not be a federal holiday, and I'm on my way to work. Have a good day.
I gotta be honest, you've got me stumped with this one, Charlie. Aren't you a freedom-loving, red-blooded American? Tell me, what possible reason could a freedom-loving, red-blooded American be against celebrating Juneteenth? Isn't it kind of the day in our country's history that made it so that all men are created equal? Because that obviously wasn't true when this country was established. And you, being a freedom-loving, red-blooded American, should want us to celebrate what actual freedom looks like. So I'm confused. Why is it that you have a problem with celebrating Juneteenth, but not a problem celebrating Columbus Day?
Juneteenth should not be a federal holiday. And remember, everybody, Republicans fought to free the slaves, Democrats did not. And the reason why this holiday existed in Texas is because Democrats decided not to tell the people that they enslaved that they were free. They were trying to just kind of just push them into the dark, kept them in the dark, didn't tell them until General Gordon Granger came down and said, hey, you are free. So the reason why this holiday even existed is because in Texas is because Democrats decided not to tell people, the enslaved.
We're really doing this again, MAGA. We're really fucking doing this again. Confederate fucking Kathy is gonna go over here and cry and whine that Juneteenth is a fucking national fucking holiday. Literally trying to whine that the Democratic Party is the reason why the slaves weren't actually free and it was the Republican parties. Because yes, Abraham Lincoln, who was a Republican, literally signed the Emancipation Proclamation. But let's not be fucking wrong here. Abraham Lincoln wanted fucking slavery to stay. And the only reason he had to fucking sign the Emancipation Proclamation is because the Union soldiers had way too much weight and weapons weapons and way too much weight in general and was winning the war, and the only way that he could actually give them what they wanted was to free the fucking slaves. So he had to sign the Emancipation Proclamation in order to make the Confederate actually fucking lose, because he knew in the end the Confederate had nothing to fucking uphold when it came down to the fucking Union going against them when it came down to slavery. But yet you want to use this as a fucking gotcha moment or a talking point to desecrate a holiday for an entire fucking group of color because you want to claim that your party is the fucking party. You're out of your fucking mind if you think that the party of Donald Trump, the party of Project 2025, the party of 500 anti-LGBTQI bills introduced in 2025 alone, the party of anti-blackness, the party of fucking anti-DEI is going to get a fucking thank you for something that was done over 150 years ago to a party that you're no longer affiliated for, because the Southern Shift strategy allowed all of those racist fucking bigoted Democrats to shift into the Republican Party when civil fucking rights were being fought for, and then the GOP took a firm stance against that and actually held the longest fucking filibuster on the Senate floor to literally hold against fucking giving civil rights out to the black people, because the Southern Shift strategy took all of those racist Democrats and put them into the Republican Party, building the Republican GOP to what it is today. But you love to leave that talking point out. But let's be clear, fucking TikTok existed in 1865, and this is the middle of the Emancipation Proclamation that you love to claim the Republicans was so much about. You be whining that freedom was going too far. You be crying on Confederate TikTok that the plantation culture is being canceled, and that cancel culture itself is fucking just a hate onto white people in general and their ideology. They be trying to pass legislation for enslaved people to earn their freedom through job training programs. And you want every fucking one of us to be thankful the Republican Party of 2025? You fucking have literally lost your mind, and you have to go and check yourself into a mental hospital, because the Trump derangement syndrome is fucking real, and it's fucking wild. Today is a black holiday. It marks historical black fucking history that literally enslaved people in Galveston, Texas were held against their fucking will for well over 2 years, and well for centuries before that, because they were literally brought here on fucking ships and sold into slavery and not actually had any civil rights or fucking freedoms, because we didn't have a lick of fucking humanitarian when it came to fucking being a fucking white man or a white woman at that time. And instead we thought we had to enslave the black people because we wanted the free fucking labor, and we purchased them for pennies on the fucking dime. Yet you guys want them to still be thankful today. But no, this is not a story of benevolence. It's a story of delay, resistance, and survival. And it's Confederate Kathleen actually cared about that, she'd be fighting for protecting voting rights, supporting reparations, and defending black histories in schools. But instead they're fighting banning books, banning black history, stripping fucking black names off of fucking warships, and literally stripping black veterans of their fucking history, literally stripping history out of books and whitewashing it to the fucking T, including our entire fucking genocide of the indigenous people of fucking America. And you are here using your white woman tears, literally thinking that we should be saying something or praising you for fucking something that was done 150 years ago, when your party is literally the biggest bunch of bigoted fucking hateful morons I've ever met in my entire life. I don't fucking get it. But if you think for a minute you're gonna get a fucking thankful for me, you're out of your fucking mind, girl.
Okay, everybody, a lot of people are gonna be saying happy Juneteenth. It should not be a federal holiday, and I'm on my way to work. Have a good day.
You don't think that we should celebrate freedom? In the land of the free, home of the brave, you don't think that we should celebrate freedom? Because that's what Juneteenth is. Listen to this. On June 19th, 1865, Union troops arrived in Galveston, Texas, with news that the Civil War was over and that all remaining enslaved people in Texas were free, an event now celebrated nationwide as Juneteenth. This was the final enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation, making it that slavery was now abolished in the United States. The Juneteenth National Independence Day Act had passed the Senate unanimously in 2021, passed the House of Representatives with a majority vote, and then was signed into law by President Joe Biden.
Juneteenth should not be a federal holiday, and remember everybody, Republicans fought to free the slaves, Democrats did not, and the reason why this holiday existed in Texas is because Democrats decided not to tell the people that they enslaved that they were free. The reason why this holiday even existed is because in Texas is because Democrats decided not to tell the enslaved people that they were free.
First of all, this is the smile of unearned confidence. Second of all, you're saying that this shouldn't be a federal holiday based on your misunderstanding of who told who the enslaved people were free and who was holding them. Did I get that? It stands to reason that if the roles were reversed, you would be saying that it would be fine to be a national holiday? What the fuck is even your argument here? It was conservative Texans that enslaved people 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. Conservative fucking Rafael Cruz, okay? That's who would have done that. This is an insane, incoherent argument, which, I mean, yeah. Juneteenth is a day to reflect on our dark history of slavery and to celebrate the resiliency of black people and African Americans and to acknowledge that the pursuit of freedom and equity is still ongoing thanks to certain people.
Because apparently the entire month of February just wasn't good enough.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. So this is a good thing I can use my motherfucking platform since I'm going viral. Look, everybody. Look. A mayonnaise covered man who's mad because we got Juneteenth. Oh, hey, racist. Hey, everybody. Since I'm going viral, this is making me cry. Go attack him. Oh, my God. How do I keep on getting banned, but y'all mayonnaise people could come up here and say whatever y'all want? You mad because we got Juneteenth, and then you want to put in the caption and say, it's a joke. No, bitch. Like we don't fucking know people joke and hide that shit. It was a joke. No, bitch. It was for real. You a little mad. You a little pissed because we got Juneteenth? Baby, are you serious? I'm so happy. Get them famous, y'all. Get them famous.
The same people who would say black people should shut up about their struggle and that black people are trying to act like a victim are the same people who are pissed at the fact that black people are celebrating their freedom. If you don't know what Juneteenth stands for, it is the very day that enslaved people in Texas finally got the call that they are free. And even prior to that, they had to wait for 2 years to get that. June 19th, 1865. They had to wait to get that. The silence, the delay, that is America. And the Juneteenth is the day they celebrate their freedom. This day they celebrate that they got a call that they are finally free. To me, I think it is worth celebrating. Very huge milestone in the journey of black people in America. I believe it is totally worth celebrating. Fast forward to 2021, Juneteenth became a federal holiday and it is giving so many palm-colored people a huge headache. It was supposed to be, yes, they finally recognized that it is a day for them to, mark and celebrate black people. But you would think that so many of those palm-colored people would be cool with it. But here we go every year, groaning, crying, crashing out over the fact that black people are celebrating the day that they became. They are saying that why do black people get so many holidays? As if so many holidays in America hasn't centered whiteness by default. As if Independence Day did not celebrate freedom for them while black people were in chains. As if the Columbus Day isn't literally a federal holiday for a man that has never set his foot in mainland America. They have that day as holiday. They are okay with that. But they are not okay with black people celebrating the day that they finally had, that they are free. The idea that they have that black recognition is somehow extra is always wild to me. Because their reaction is always very weird. For a country that loves to chant and never forget, they sure do forget slavery very quick. And let's talk about how they will always come up and say Black History Month is enough celebration for black people. As if black history isn't literally American history. They think that 1 month and 1 holiday will make up for the several years of hard labor that black people had to do on the land. Stolen labor, the generational trauma that black people had to endure, they thought 1 month and 1 holiday is enough to celebrate. And at this point, with the way they have been crashing out, they do not actually think they are upset about the calendar. They are just upset about the accountability. Because whatever centers black people gives them a day. And this outrage will never happen during every other holiday. This is the only outrage that happens when this holiday is centered around black people because they just cannot, grasp their head around not being centered in the moment. Literally, to so many white folks, a federal acknowledgement of freedom for black people is extra to them, is not worth it for black people. That is literally what they are saying. So we know that the problem isn't about the holiday itself. The problem is about the people that this holiday centers. They do not like the fact that Black people are being seen. They do not like the fact that Black people are being honored. They do not like the fact that Black people are being centered. And that is where the problem is. Palm-colored people have never been okay with sharing a spotlight. They always want to be the one at the spot. But they need to remember that America does not belong to one group. And Juneteenth is part of everyone's history. You don't even need to be Black to understand the fact that freedom delayed is not freedom denied. If you are really about, liberty and justice for all, I do not think this holiday should, bother them at all. I do not think this holiday should make them crash out this bad at all. So to the palm-colored people that have issues that are crashing out because of this, I hope they sit down and ask themselves why this actually bothers them, and they will realize that it is all because of the people that it centers. It is all because of the fact that they are sharing a spotlight. It is all because of the fact that the lens is not currently on them. Let me hear what you guys think about these people who every single year never learn their lesson and who always come around to crash out just because Black people are getting one day holiday to celebrate a very important milestone in the history of not just Black people, but in the history of America. Let me hear what you think in the comment section. I'm going to see you guys in the next episode.